So I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. It's £6.50. Now, how much would you be prepared to pay for good customer service? It's a question that's being asked after the boss of Ryanair, Michael O'Leary, admitted that his budget airline needed to change its abrupt image. I think he used rather more colourful language than that as well, didn't he?
He was responding, though, to shareholder concerns that customer service issues were hitting sales. So, even if you know that something's no frills, should we still expect good service? Joining us to discuss this are customer services expert Lynda King-Taylor and travel editor Phoebe Smith. Good to have you both with us.
Morning. Thank you.
So we need to kind of we need you to lay out your stalls. Phoebe, let's begin with you. You don't pay the top prices. No. Should you expect top service?
I don't think top service is a bit of a strange way of putting it, but I suppose if you look at something like EasyJet, who were traditionally the main rival to Ryanair, they've definitely invested much more in customer service now, and you know that's been their mission since they got their new chief executive. And even though they still want to be known as good value, it's more about good value than just cheap. And they've been a lot more upfront with their fares. They've been a lot more upfront with the extra costs, and you know they have been a bit more lenient with people who bring luggage that's too big. And I just think that people at this time now, with you know it's a recession going on, people are really protective of the money that they're going to spend, and the holidays that they take, they want to enjoy it and remember it for the right reasons. And if you have a bad experience on the flight over there, it can affect your whole holiday. So I think people are now prepared to pay to just sort of take out one level of stress that you'd get at the airport.
Are you seeing that as well, Lynda?
Absolutely, and it's not just to your industry, Phoebe, it's right across the UK and indeed other countries. But I think no matter how much you pay, you still deserve respect and rapport and caring, commitment, concern at the front service level. And when that's not accorded, no matter who you are, or indeed in the sad circumstances that brought the Ryanair to light, I think it is wrong. I think you have to pursue from the boardroom down a policy of respect at the customer service level.
There's no question, though, that there's not a place for no-frills airlines, is there?
That is absolutely correct. Years ago, I was on the CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority, and worked with 2 or 3 other people to bring in the deregulation of the airlines so that we could have cheaper travel and open air travel to a broader audience worldwide. But at the end of the day, too, you must always keep a promise you make, never make a promise you can't keep, and don't treat people as one of 1,000. You are an individual, and there should be enough room within your corporate boardroom strategy right through the organisation for care and commitment.
It's interesting, Phoebe, that at a time when so many of us are, thinking about our budgets and cutting down on things, that apparently we're starting to go the other way as far as holidays are concerned. That this suggests that we're starting to be prepared to pay a bit more to get better quality.
Absolutely, and I think this goes down to travel in general. People are now prepared to pay a bit more to have a really good experience and to be able to come back and have had this great experience. And I think flying can be so stressful now with airports, with all the security you have to go through. There's so many layers of stress to start your holiday.
But aren't you willing to put up with a bit of stress to save a load of money?
And it's only for a short time,
but
as well, when you think of the whole holiday.
I think the thing is that you don't really save that much these days. If you book far enough ahead, you can get some of the bigger name airlines for more or less the same price, and you're getting what you pay for. You know what you're getting. So many times you see in the news of people who fly with Ryanair who are suddenly hit by these extra charges they hadn't counted on, or last minute they've forgotten their boarding pass, and that's cost them so much more. And then on top of that, often you're delivered then to an airport that's way out the way from where you want to be. So in a way, it can be a bit of a false economy, because then you're paying just to actually, once you get to your destination, to get to where you actually want to take your break. So I think people are just being a bit more savvy with their money. And like Lynda said, they just want to be treated, like a human, like an individual. And if things go wrong for them, they want to speak to someone who's going to be not straight away, well, this is going to charge you and we're going to put a fee on this. They want someone who's going to be, oh, that's really bad, let's see what we can do.
Isn't there an argument, though, from the side of businesses that they've been quite transparent And it's actually perhaps the reason that customers have got a little bit upset is they just haven't followed the rules. The businesses have said, OK, you forget your boarding pass, we're going to charge you. If you go over your baggage limit, we're going to charge you. It's quite clear. It's just that customers perhaps aren't willing to go to a company that doesn't want to be as flexible.
And in fact, that is happening with this particular airline. And you will know more about this, Phoebe, than myself, but I understand that numbers are down. There are not as many flying with this particular airline. And remember that they've got a long-term commitment to buying a lot more aircraft.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more offers going on, as you say, with other, not just budget airlines, but major international airlines. And at the end of the day, a customer is a customer, whether you're in a pound shop or a posh shop.
And I think it doesn't help that when you have Michael O'Leary then coming on a programme talking about it, you know, he'll call the customers idiots for forgetting their boarding pass. I mean, that's not really on. You know, people do forget things, and fair enough if there is a charge and they're complaining, but there's a way of dealing with it. And I think Ryanair have become something of a bit of a running joke of, you know, it does tend to be within the travel industry, you know, people do sort of say, oh, they'll charge you for that, they'll charge you for that, and it has become a bit of a running joke, whereas the other airlines have concentrated more on customer service.
We will very politely thank you very much indeed for
Thank
coming
you.
in this morning. We will charge you no extra for coming in, and thank you for coming. We're talking about this again a bit later.
Yes, thanks very much.
Thank you.
On breakfast with some of those winners and hearing from them, I'm sure. Nearly 5 to 9. Now here's a question. How much would you be prepared to pay for good customer service? Should we be expected to pay more? It's a question that's being asked after the boss of Ryanair, Michael O'Leary, admitted that his budget airline needs to change what he called its abrupt image, responding to shareholder concerns that customer service issues were hitting their sales. So even if you know something is no frills, should we still expect good customer service? Customer service expert Lynda King-Taylor is here, and travel editor Phoebe Smith is here as well. Good morning to both of you.
Thank you.
Phoebe, I'm quite surprised that it looks like people are wanting a higher standard, prepared maybe to pay a bit more, because I'd have thought in the current economic climate we all want to save money wherever we can. But is this a trend you're noticing?
Definitely, and I think that what happened was when the recession hit, people were suddenly thinking price was the thing everyone was thinking of. But actually I think it's more quality. People, if they're going to spend money, and they're going to spend money and go away, we've seen that people aren't stopping travelling, they are going on holidays, and they're going to want to have a really good experience from start to finish. And if it means an extra level of stress at the airport because they're worried about bringing the boarding passes, they're worried about their bag being put into the hold and being charged all this money, you know, they will pay that little bit more to know that everything's going to go okay, and also the customer service is good. It's so important.
Lynda, you're a customer services specialist. I mean, as part of the whole package of, say, buying a flight and a holiday, how important do you think customer service is within that in terms of the experience?
With all businesses, and you could take NHS, airlines, the police, retail, hotels, it's the frontline service delivery that people remember. But you can't get that unless it permeates from the top down. And one of the things that saddens myself is that it's taken so long with this particular airline, and it took the stakeholders, the shareholders, to say to the chief executive and his team, look, we've got to improve customer service. And there are many other airlines, as Phoebe has said, that are coming into the budget loop, so to speak, and are giving better customer service. But no matter what you pay, it doesn't cost anything to smile.
But you know, I think a lot of people are prepared to put up with maybe less impressive customer service, cut out the gloss, if they save money on their flight.
But I think that EasyJet in particular is a good example. I mean, them and Ryanair have always been very much pitched as a similar type of product. But in the last few years, when they've brought in the new chief executive, her sort of mantra has been that good customer service has to be part of the package, and it's good value. And good value doesn't have to mean that you then get bad customer service. And they've seen their profits increase, and their shares have gone up. Whereas Ryanair, we're now seeing they're having the profit warning. So it's sort of been a wake-up call, I think, for Ryanair that actually we've neglected customer care for so long. Our rivals haven't, and our rivals have been doing better, and now they're going to have to address it.
What I mean, people always used to come back from holidays in America and say, "Oh, the customer service, they have a nice day," and the big smiles, and that it was very fake. But do you think we're getting into a situation in this country where we expect the same thing here now, that we want to have a nice day?
Well, not quite, but the point is, you never get a second chance to create a first impression. And on the same day that this was all announced by Ryanair, or the incidents were announced, we saw the figures come out. We've got more tourists coming into this country than ever before. However, we've also got the fact that customer service delivery in Britain is going down, and that affects the entire economy. And all I can say is that we have got to have customer service at the top of the boardroom priority. You can succeed in business and still get to heaven, but you've got to improve the line level throughout the country.
OK, Lynda, Phoebe, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Interesting subject. Have a nice day. I wish you that. That's it from us this morning. Bill and Susanna back from 6 tomorrow with Sir Tim Rice here as well. Have fun. Goodbye.